Good morning, happy Monday. Here we go. First impressions, Inov-8 TerraUltra G270. There it is on your screen. That's how you spell it. Inov-8 TerraUltra G270, a brand new shoe just released like 3 or 4 days ago. Okay, so there it is. Oh, and look at that green colorway. Let's just say nobody could miss me up on the mountain this past weekend when I was testing out this shoe for all of you. But first of all, you know what's about to go down. There it is. There it is. Early bird gets the worm. If you were the first to comment on today's vlog down below, you win the brand new electric foam roller from Life Pro to help out those aching legs. Congratulations. Just like last week, Alex won. And then I will verify, of course, who was actually the first person to comment down below. But Alex won the brand new running shoes. And then I asked him to message me on Instagram or Facebook. So if you were first, all right, you got to go down below, verify, send me a message on Instagram, Facebook. I will verify, and then we'll share. You will share your address with me, and you'll get a brand new electric foam roller in the mail. Okay, let's dive in. Zero drop trail running shoe from Inov-8. Very interesting. I'll come back to that in a second. 12 millimeter stack height in the heel and the forefoot. But let me just make a little qualifier here. I think that United States running shoe companies versus UK running companies, which Inov-8 is from the UK, I think their measurement strategy must be a little different because when I use my gauge here to measure the stack height, I'm getting closer to like a 21 or 22 millimeter stack height, keeping in mind that I'm including the insole in the measurement. Now, if I take the insole out, it's closer to like a 16, and so I'm just wondering if on the Inov-8 website, and it is listed down below in case you're interested in learning more, if they are measuring if they're measuring just the midsole and not including the insole as well, okay? So just keep it in mind, there's different ways to measure midsole stack heights. Okay, let's move on to the weight. Men's size 9, we're looking at 9.5 ounces or 270 grams. I do apologize, could not find a women's size 8 for the measurement, but it will start to percolate because it is such a brand new running shoe that there's not a lot of people who have weighed a women's size 8 yet. But in my size, we are looking at, hold on, 8.3 ounces. That is what I'm talking about, 236 grams. That, everybody, gets me very, very excited. All right, 236 grams, 8.3 ounces in my size. Moving on to the upper, here we go. It's what Inov-8 is calling their adapter fit upper material. And this shoe is being advertised as a long trail running shoe or an ultra running shoe, okay? So the longer you're out on the trails training or racing, your feet do tend to swell, meaning they get a little bigger and because there's more blood flow down to the feet. And so this material is designed to help flex with your feet as they begin to swell over longer distances. And I must say, okay, here we go. Here's the 260 from 2019. This is last year's iteration. The upper has made incredible strides forward compared to 2019. Much softer. And they are saying, I can't verify this yet, but they are saying more durable as well in the 270 compared to the 260. But I am going to say much softer, and I could foresee, now my first run was only 6 miles, 2,000 feet of vertical gain, so I will take this shoe absolutely to longer distances, you know, those 20 plus mile, probably on Tuesday of this week, 20 plus mile long trail runs just to see how that upper does over longer distances, okay? It is a fully gusseted tongue, and they redesigned the tongue as well. The tongue absolutely laid on top of the foot, much, much better compared to the 260. I can attest to that. And let me just do the test here in the heel counter. Yeah, it's actually got a little bit of flex to it, which is fine with me. I didn't feel any movement through my heel in the heel pocket at all. And pretty good overlay through the toe box if you're going through creek crossings or lots of mud. I suspect, now where I was at yesterday was not muddy or wet at all, but I suspect that this upper overlay is gonna be awesome, really awesome. Like I'm very, very impressed overall so far with the design of this overlay, just to keep some of that. It's not going to keep your foot completely dry, but keep some of the moisture out for those longer trail efforts. As far as the lacing system through the eyelet chain, no issues at all. I really don't like when running shoes scrunch up, especially through the toe box. So when basically there's too much material on top of the shoe, that is not the case with the TerraUltra G270. It just laid on top of the foot basically perfectly. And last point on the upper is that if you do want to wear a gaiter, if you're running through some really mucky conditions or maybe a lot of dust and grit, they do have a little spot here where you can connect your gaiter just in case, like a little, just a little hook there on the back, on the side, I should say, of the heel counter. Onto that midsole, it's their Power Flow Max midsole. That's what they call it, okay? And they increased the stack height by 3 millimeters from the 2019 iteration. And I don't know if you remember the vlog. If you've been watching a long time, it was basically exactly a year ago. I basically said that I did not like that shoe, the G260. I thought it was way too firm. I thought the ride was kind of hard, especially since the shoe was being advertised as a longer distance shoe. It just, it was a really rough ride. It was not cushioned at all. And when you're out there for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, like I want a little bit of forgiveness through my midsole. And so the G260 just I didn't feel like it offered that in 2019. Everyone, they upped their game in 2020 with the 270. So according to their data, they have increased the energy return through this Power Flow Max midsole by 20%. 20% compared to the 2019 iteration. That's epic. And listen, I can't verify through testing in a science lab, but I'm just gonna say, in yesterday's run, I could feel the difference immediately compared to last year's version. So good work, Inov-8, on increasing the stack height. I don't know if you watched last year's vlog, all the folks at Inov-8, but I do appreciate you increasing the stack height a little bit and changing the overall, I guess it would be the density or durometer scale of this Power Flow Max midsole. Very, very good work. Very excited for the 270 moving forward. And moving on to the outsole, what often is maybe the least exciting part of a running shoe, and it might be the most exciting part of this 270. So what do I mean by the title? The only running shoe company in the world to do this. So they are the only, as far as I know, and I believe verified through their website, is that they are the only sports shoe that uses, I believe that's how they phrase it, or I'm just going to say running shoe that uses what they call their graphene outsole rubber. All right, I'm going to use those terms a little loosely. Again, if you want to learn more about the science behind graphene, their website is listed below, and they're working with the University of Manchester to develop this graphene outsole, okay? Now, compared to, actually, let's just do it. Compared to the 260, they have repositioned the rubber just a little bit compared to 2019, all right? And the lug depth is 4 millimeters, okay? 4 millimeter lug depth on the bottom, which is, frankly, I think spot on. Maybe it could be 5, but I think 4 is pretty darn good. Also, just under the toe box, they have this MetaFlex, these MetaFlex grooves running, I guess it would be laterally across the toe box, just to give you a little extra flex through your foot strike, and it felt great. It just felt great yesterday. I think it's not all trail running shoes have this MetaFlex grooves through the toe box. So I like that a lot. And now here's the deal, everyone. We're going to dive into it right now. Durability prediction, at least 600 miles, probably 700 plus miles at least. I'm telling you, this graphene outsole material is stout. The build quality is unbelievable. Have you ever heard me be so excited about an outsole before? I'm not sure if I have been. I just think the graphene grip is spot on, and I think it's going to go and I should say, very tacky, like grippy. You know when you just run your fingers over it, you can just tell, like, okay, this is going to grab the rocks really, really well. Sometimes you find smooth rocks out there that are slick. I just think it's very tacky to the touch, which is a good thing. So, oh man, I don't know what I'm more excited about, whether it's the outsole or the midsole or the upper. I honestly don't know at this point. For the fit and the comfort, fit true to size, no issues with the fit. Maybe a little on the narrow side, just a little bit, which is fine with me, especially if you're going to use this for a racing shoe. Like when I say narrow, I mean maybe just a smidge through the midfoot. Okay, toe box felt pretty good. So if you have a really wide foot, you might want to test this on, or wherever you buy it. If you buy it online, make sure they have a good return policy. For comfort of the upper, not much else has to be said. I will say it's not a plush upper. Okay, so if you want a ton of cushion, especially through the heel counter, it's not plush by any means, but still very, very comfortable. And then a comfortable midsole ride. Now again, I am going to test it, for 20 plus miles very, very soon. So stay tuned for that after the 50-mile review. Now, how will I use this shoe moving forward? Who is the shoe best for? I will be using it mostly for training. Okay, so for those 20 plus mile trail runs. And I will say, I think it's aggressive enough on the outsole that I can take it up in the 14ers, no problem, and do some pretty serious climbing. Actually, wow. I mean, okay, if I was doing Nolan's 14 in 2020, I would consider using this shoe 100%. And especially since it's 8.3 ounces. Man, so also, I guess I'll dive into it. Who is this shoe best for? If you're looking for an ultra racing shoe, I'm going to say past the 50K distance. For me personally, for a 50K and below on the trail racing scene, I would opt for something more in the 7-ounce range in my size. But if we're talking 50 miles or 100K distance, maybe 100-mile distance, I'm not sure on that, but definitely 50 mile or 100K, I think this could be the shoe for you in 2020. Now, I realize not a lot of races are happening right now, but I'm telling you, pretty darn excited so far with the 270. One last point on the weight. Usually, I'm always pretty excited about any trail training shoe that is under 9 ounces in my size. The fact that this is 8.3, that is really, really a good sign. So again, I just wanted to mention that about the weight. Last but not least, $160. Would I buy this again? 100%. Of course I would, especially I think it's built like a tank. I think it's gonna go the distance. I think you could train in this shoe for not just 6 weeks or 8. I think you could train in this shoe for a half a year consistently and still get pretty good benefit out of that midsole. Oh, let me just do the thumb test real quick. Yeah, just way more forgiveness compared to the 260. All right, everyone, there you have it. Question of the day. Who has raced on the trails further than the marathon distance at any point in your life? So anything past marathon, who's raced on the trails, all right? And what shoe did you wear in one of those races or your first race, however many times? So let us know the shoe and let us know the distance that you raced. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Inov-8. Thank you, UK. Shout out to the Brits. I just appreciate it. I'm pretty darn excited. I think Wednesday, actually, I'm going to go up to Gray's and Torrey's up on the 14ers here and go for a big mountain day. We're talking big mountain day. So right here, this is I'm not going to even say probably. This will be my shoe for that day. Buttermilk bread, onward and upward. Let's do this. Oh yeah, and it is listed down below in case you want to learn more. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, right there. You know what? We'll toss it back to the 260 from last year just so you can see how much I did not like that shoe. Like it was kind of sad. But now we are moving in the right direction. Right there. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.